Yes, yo, then Johnny Boy be bull, and welcome back. Corked Stats, the fastest freaking show in MLB. Absolutely anywhere. With your fucking boy. Let's go, man. Feeling really good. We are. We got to be the hottest MLB betters up in a bitch right now. Plus, we're letting the cat out the bag, giving it away for free on the YouTubes. Hot damn. Follow me up on Twitter at John Legaza Flow, sharper than the razor. You too can make all your dreams come true. Same handle over on Substack. Find out what all the hubbub is about. I think it's the best data set in the game for the money easily. Plus, there's football stuff, ranks and stats are already up, differentials, and some really cool formatted stuff that's not just your surface stuff. I do this shit, right? We don't talk it, we live it. We don't get ready, we stay ready. Nice and light day today. We're going to try and do like the wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Is it going to work? Probably not. You know why though? These are the days. These are the times to remember. We want to. I like to show off some of the pitching analysis that we don't get to do otherwise. I really think it helps to pull the curtain on how I come to the determinations. I was thinking about doing a video on that. Anyway, let's dive in and do the thing. Support good people doing good work. Don't be a cheap motherfucker your whole life. Not your whole life. Again, you want to be a cheap bitch. You really do. You got to get value, but man, what better to save than fucking time? The answer is not much. All right, come on, enough of that bullshit. It's the best part of waking up. Pitching sheets up in your mug, bro. Couple of the usual suspects up in the comments. Yo, Steve Stallings, salute. My guy, great day yesterday. You know it. Yo, we are like legit on fire. That I was telling everybody, you gotta be easy breezy. You know what I mean? That's why I like the combine stuff. We're gonna go live. We couldn't possibly lose now with the way I set risks. My gosh, we gotta be up near 10% ROI on the season with all the combines. We're gonna reset. But give you an idea, I like to leave everything up. I think transparency is important. You damn thief with the musculars. What's going on, kid? Remember, this ain't madness.
This is Sparta!
Damn fucking right it is. Yo, Jeff L. Mi Gente, what's going in? Coming in hot as always. Yeah, we're going to find some value. My guy B. Rose, Guana. Heading out on a cruise for the week. We'll catch you late. I'm a Norwegian guy myself. Mark S., what's up? Let's go Spartans for sure. B. Rose, yeah, I'm a Norwegian guy. Proposed to my wife on a Norwegian cruise. And actually, one of my funnier stories, oh gosh. I got the pictures to fucking prove it, and the videos. No one wants to pay for the shit. I won a cruise ship dance contest. I swear, I fucking swear.
Shit.
Yeah, I swear. All right, enough of that shit. Come on, let's go. I want to start with the PM stuff. We'll circle back for the two. Is it 3 early games? I think it's 2 at 1, 1 at 4, and then the rest are afterwards. Yeah, 2 at 1. 1 at 4, and then the rest is 640. Let's start at the back end for the commuter crowd. That's my boy Spencer Strider on the bump for the Bravos. Minus 143 favorite on the road. Down in Miami, you face Sandy Alcantara and the Mighty Marlins. Strider's been fantastic. Right? You want to ignore that first start. I think I might have been in Coors also, which is like, you know what? Maybe they're watching the show and like, you know what? If we're going to throw away a start, right? We don't like the debut. We don't want to pitch in Coors. Fuck it. Do the debut in Coors. Eat it on your chin. You know what I'm saying? As long as you get out of there healthy. Strada's been really good since then. I think we're going to get, that guy that we thought we were going to. He's got to have to rein in the command and control, but I think you're going to get that also. He had the goodies. Last time I popped the hood on the underpinning stuff on Savant, the individual pitch performance stuff, as far as swing and miss, like ridiculous. Like, back to where, he was the best freaking pitcher in the game. I mean, yeah, he walked 5 in that first game. That's throwing everything off. He went 6 shutout, walked 2, struck out 8 against the Dodgers, like in LA. Yeah. Then 5 in the third, gives up 1. He walked 3 versus Boston. Not as clean. But again, I think there's a little bit of like spring training still going on here. So I'm all about Strider. Alcantara's also been good, 353/126 ERA whip combo. The velo is there. Though it's always funny, his stuff plus grade on that four-seamer is not always top-notch. Goes to show you that, what's it called? velo is not everything. Just realized I left my phone in the bathroom, so I don't have a timer. Though I guess out of all days, it's okay. And I think that reflects the stuff plus. I think that reflects on the low K rate, the low swing and strike rate. And his command and control has been really good, and I think that's a key for him because he's always keeping the ball down, and he's hard to get a hold of. Meaning, I basically think you're getting competitive starts from Alcantara more or less every single time this guy's out there. I've always been a pretty big Sandy guy. The market in fantasy got a little bit hot for me, so he's not like on any of my teams. Last 30 days been a bit of a struggle, though he's pitched a lot better at home. 295 ERA at the crib, 4.5 on the road. Just a quick game log thing, man. He was really good last time out. Shoved the Rays at the Trop. They're fucking garbage. I mean, he went 6, only gave up 2 against the Nats, which right now looks like a heroic effort. Baltimore cracked him, go figure. Detroit also got him for 7. So there is that little bit of a blow-up risk. I wonder if that's on the table today versus the Braves, who've been pretty good against righties. Now returned to Cunha, and it hasn't really shown yet. Though my guy Austin Riley hit a monster dong yesterday, and he could be a rising tide lifts all ships, guys. When he gets going, he's really good. I think one of the more undersung power hitters in the game. But the L7 stuff, don't lie. Braves last 260 PAs altogether, batting 210 with a 285 OBP. I mean, it's pretty shitty. They're chasing, not hitting the ball hard. Marlins haven't been much better either. They've come down from that cloud. They were sun running for a little bit also. Last 2 weeks versus righties been really rough. You could see up on the board. A 278 slug, 565 OPS. 4% barrel, 288 xWOBA implies like 3.25 runs. So, man, Braves bullpen has been a carrying tool last thing. So, I think the Braves win. I'm just going to leave the Algo board up. I think the Braves win. I'm not sure if we're there for the price. Wind blowing in, by the way. And the totals are really low as is. Looks like we got a... All right, it's not actually a 3.5, it's a 4. Let me just take a quick L in case people are wondering. Because I've noticed I've gotten some of the F5 lines wrong. They're not up early enough, and I got to be fast. So it's just easier for me to do the, intuitive math on it. Right, a 7 is normally 3.5, 8.5 is a 4.5, 8s are a 4, 5 to 9. So I generally draw this up, then I have to go look where I have disparities. If this one is a U4, and that's live up on my bookie right now, and it's a minus 105, every day I make the promise that I'm not going to line shop. Every day I break that promise. Then right after that I remember that I've left the tab open for so long it needs to be refreshed, and now I'm kind of filibustering my way through the lies. Oh, man. Well, I talked about transparency. I guess that's a part of it. Damn, this one's not up. As good as my bookie had been with those alt totals, the solid 4s are not getting posted as 4.5s. We hit a bunch of those. These fucking books, man. Right? That's the problem. You find yourself a little bit of a edge or crack to get some value where we were okay paying juice, which you know me, the cheapest fucking motherfucker you ever met in your life. If I'm paying juice, there's probably a good reason. The math on that number was heavily slanted in our favor, and now, of course, the books kind of removed it. DraftKings has had them up. They charged the extra tax, which is why I wasn't looking there first. So, model not in love even with the 4. You can make a pitch for it if you think Alcantara is good and the Braves are kind of whack. Safest pick is probably just the Braves money line. I think they have the edge every way. You do get the 9 frames. I think we have the bullpen edge. Minus 140 is not like egregious to get Strider. I kind of like Alcantara, but I don't love the Marlins offense, so whatever. Let's go Braves to win this bitch. I'm going to see. Maybe we'll find another pair. I was kind of scrambling this morning. Savant data was behind. Again, regardless, have to hit my guy Johnny Anderson at the data warehouse. He's doing yeoman's work out there. But when Savant is delayed, the people who are using that are going to be delayed. Part of mine comes from there. So if you're wondering, our totals are up first thing. My source is a lot more reliable. They're up first thing in the morning. So that's why sometimes you'll notice the lefty and righty splits may not add up to the total, because the total is 100% guaranteed fresh donuts every morning. The split stuff is what I have to pay for, right? Those split and advanced stats is the goodies, right? Those are behind. I wait for the last second for showtime. They might have been up, then I would have really been behind. I'll get them up as soon as we're off. So just a little bit of how the sausage is made, unfortunately. Next up, we got Spencer Miles on the bump for the Bluebirds, plus 144 dog on the road against the bad guys, and Carlos Rodon. Man, I don't know what we're going to get here. I think, weird, some sites had like Little or Fisher up. I'm almost certain the Blue Jays announced that it is going to be Miles, and he's going to be followed. Underwater Trades, what's going on? USMC, all the huge. Appreciate all you, Jason. What's going on? Yeah, monster days across the board yesterday. You really can't lose with the tools we use. Yo, hold on. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. You know, the last couple years were really, really hard for me. They were really, really tough for me. Having to accept that I wasn't this winning better all the time. I had always been a winning better. And to have to understand that doesn't last. And, you know, when you're opening up to doing the data and customer service, and I didn't have a great process, and I was learning Substack and video production and editing, I don't have no help. Now everything, you know, is clicking for us, right? Everything feels good. We feel really good about the confidence. It's back tested to walk away from the books. And I think I was thinking about this morning, and I think that was the reason for my lack of successes. The more I was losing, the more I would tie the model to the book to not get myself in trouble or get other people in trouble. The problem is everything that was landing in line is a no play. The things that were off of the book were now becoming no plays. Now you're squinting and flipping coins. You have no edge. Where if your work is testing out properly, when you're off of I keep saying off the model, when your model is off of the book, that's when you want to fucking attack. Now we've done that with confidence, and yo, man, it feels pretty good, right? We're mixing it up. It's underdogs, it's fucking favorites, and yo, tell me you don't feel fucking awesome. Look me in my fat fucking faccia bruta. Tell me you don't feel great about these hit run ribby pairs. Jason and I were hashing it up behind the scenes. He's been providing some free stuff, kind of working on 3-leg, 4-leg, 4 felt heavy, 3 maybe felt like the porridge was just right. For me, you know, man, if I'm getting 2, yesterday was what, Juan Soto, JJ Weatherholt. These are legit elite players, right? We're not squinting for bad players. They were the players that were modeling out properly. I have to take a quick side, L. The first thing that I was doing wrong with the hit run ribbies was, as a trigger, I was using the F5 score and not the full game score. And you don't want to put all your eggs in that basket, because if the pitcher gets out with his asshole intact, then you're up against really tough bullpens. I'd be doing it pretty simple. For me, it's 4 1/3, 4.4. If a team has 4.4 or 4.5 runs in the model, those are the teams you're looking for scoring. Those are your DFS stacks, those are your team total overs, and those are your hit run ribby sources. And I mean, come on, tell me you don't feel great about these pairing. Soto and Weatherholt plus 190 yesterday. The day before, J.R. and other fucking superstars, Bobby Witt. You're this is fucking crazy. This feels fucking criminal to get these guys in these spots. So let's keep hammering it, feeling good, feeling confident, back testing the work, being responsible with our risk plan. And I'm very excited about fucking going live. Okay, so where was we? Oh, it was Miles, who I think is a pitcher. Again, I like to stay plugged into the fantasy stuff. A lot of smart people doing that. And one of the launch angle guys, Rob Silver, was talking about Miles. He's also a Blue Jays fan. Sometimes I like to get fans' input. That's why we love getting our Orioles stuff from MLB Dream. Shout out my guy, by the way. When you have people who actually know ball and watch the team very closely, you're going to get insight that isn't available in the spreadsheet. And even a fucking nerd like me, you got to be willing to kind of open your mind. You know what I'm saying? So let's take a look at Miles. We get a little bit of closer look at these guys. So yes, we're getting stretched out. 1 1/3, 3 innings, 3 2/3. The pitch counts are low, though. 27, 38, 56, right? Nuance and context pouring out your freaking nose. When you roll with us, you freaking know the deal. Thank you. Does he get to 5? I don't know. I don't know. Blue Jays bullpen has cleaned it up a little bit. I was into like Little and Fisher and these fucking guys, but they were so bad out of the box. Maybe it's been good enough, long enough of a time to have them be good again. I want to pop the hood really quickly on Miles, just see what we got. Good velo, sinker first, but he's sinker and four-seamer. I don't like that. So right off the bat, that's kind of a red flag for me as far as the arsenal goes. 35 use on the sinker, 23 use on the four-seamer. So 57 use on your fastball bin is a little bit much. He does get whiffs, and even on the sinker he's gotten whiffs, which is a little bit unusual. The movement profile is good. Not a lot of sink on the sinker. It really unusual. It gets a lot of arm side run. I didn't like the deployment, right? So I'm not going to back off that because I feel strongly about how I have my four-seam foundational base set up. However, right, but the individual pitches themselves are pretty interesting. Good four-seamer paired with a power sinker. And all right, so there isn't like a tunneling thing that you have to kind of go look on your own. But that would be, I imagine from the Savant has some cool mirroring stuff, like spin orientation that you can use either, it's not definitive, but it is a clue of pitches that work opposite of each other, right? Inverse spins, 3 o'clock and 8 o'clock, you know what I mean? That can be confusing. Or the other one is tunneling, when two pitches come out exactly the same way and then break in different ways. That's my guess from the hints on the Savant page. So you like that because we love horizontal movement on our four-seamers because that's where the whiffs come from. That's where they're sustainable. Then he goes curveball. He can throw it to either-handed hitter. He's had a little bit of trouble locating that curveball. I mean, the speed disparity is nuts. It's like 16 miles he's fucking pulling off. He's got crazy spin. He's got good extension profile across the board. So there is quite a bit to like here. And then you get a slider, and that pitch has performed pretty well. We'd like a bit more whiffs, but the sample needs to expand before that. So if I were to kind of grade this going forward, I think if they're planning on making this guy a starter, I think he's going to be pretty good. Man, if I felt good about nine innings, if I felt good about fucking 9 innings, we'd be betting on that. If I felt good about 5 innings, I might really like the Blue Jays at 5, or even like the Blue Jays to get on like an under here, maybe. Because I'm not saying worried about Rodon, but I think we need to see this first. I knew I could fill the time even on the short slate. I was popping the hood on Rodon a little bit earlier. This guy is coming off the injury. We know he's good, but we've had some struggles. I am expecting him to, take off, right? But right now, the plane is on the runway. This isn't fantasy, right? This isn't best ball. We're betting on today. So I don't, me knowing the plane is eventually going to get in the air doesn't really help me today if I don't know how long the tarmac or the fucking runway is. I don't know. Airplane. Insert airplane terminology here. Rodon completely overhauled the pitch mix. And it's highly unusual. So he got rid of a curveball that was a really good pitch for him. Gone. He also ditched the cutter. That was really a tertiary pitch. That's fine. Like I would have maybe looked past it if it was the only one. Pulling back on the changeup, which was also like a great pitch for him. Holding on to that slider that we like. He's been throttling the four-seamer. Like last 4-year four-seam usage for Rodon, nuance, like I said. 60, 49, 42, now under 40. But you're getting a lot of sinkers now. He's trying to throw more sinkers. But he doesn't get whiffs on his sinker. He takes a little bit off it. I don't know. Maybe it's to throw strikes. I'm not in love. I don't love this. Jay's offense is whack, though, anyway. right? Are they? I don't know if I want to give them the ass label, but man, it's pretty close. Blue Jays versus lefties last 315 plate appearances, batting just 208, despite getting some extra base hits, which we like. They're not taking walks; they're chasing, which is uncharacteristic. Ex-Woba and ex-Con kind of crappy. Yankees offense is always really tough. I don't even know. Do we even have to check? Is there a week split? Yeah, it would be Yankees versus righties. Last 2 weeks has been pretty rough. Though they managed to get it done because they put guys on because they don't chase and can put the ball in the air and take you out. Even if we think Miles shoves, and there's good reason to think he's going to be good, I kind of worry about innings 5, 6, 7. And I think that feels like a rational position, right? It feels reasonable to worry about, uncertainty in an uncertain bullpen, right? If they have to go to Yariel or Chase Lee or even like Fluharty. I mean, if you can get the ball to the Fishman, Hoffman, Rogers, and Varlin, and maybe, I don't know. So in 45 jillion words or less, I think I'm under this 8 again, right? We had that. I didn't bet the under yesterday. We just got everything right yesterday. Yo, go us. You know what I'm saying? We're killing. We are fucking killing it right now. So I think I'm back on the under here. Yankees offense is always going to be habitually overrated. But even with that, you got to buy into quite a bit here. My play might even be, if I had to pick one. Daniel, shout out you, Big John. Had myself a day yesterday. 2 HRR parlays, 2 team total parlays. Up early. Let's do it again. Hold on, screenshot coming. I can't get my stupid face in there. Hold on, watch this. Hey! You know what I'm saying? That's how you win the internet, apparently, by making a fucking idiot of yourself. Well, luckily for me, that part I'm really good at. Yeah, let's keep it rolling. That's what we do. And I think as much as I'm goofing today a little bit, but also mixing it in with some of the most granular and detailed analysis you're going to get. And I think that's part of the game, right? When the plate isn't as full, we kind of show off some of the other tools while you got to have some fun. If you don't have fun, you're going to fucking lose your mind. It's a little bit too much uncertainty here. I like Blue Jays F3, and I like this game, under. Again, I don't feel like shopping around for a game I'm not going to fucking play, but if you could find 8.5, obviously we would like that more than the 8. Next up, Luis Severino on the bump for the Atleticos, minus 110 both ways on the road against Jose Soriano and the Angels. This line felt a little bit broken to me. I wonder if anyone else felt the same. Soriano just in a bit of a different class than Severino. 241, 107 ERA whip combo on Soriano. 445, 157 surface combo for Severino. I mean, Soriano's got the Ks and the swing and miss, plus the cold stuff, the chase rate, the zone contact. I mean, he really does everything. All the ground balls that you get. Severino has struggled with command and control a little bit. Now, granted, he is away from that park in Sacramento. LA is no picnic either. So the 356 road ERA may even be a little bit misleading. Last 30 days for Severino, rocking a nearly 150 whip and a +4 Sierra. Soriano's KBB, that same time frame, is only a cunt hair better. But I feel better about him, at least, getting those weak ground balls that get you the double plays. I guess we'd have to concede Athletics are the much stronger lineup, right? That feels safe to say. A's v righties have been much better than the Angels, who have been ass. Like, this is your ass label, and it feels like it's getting worse every day. Angels with just the worst disciplinary characteristics to not only build in a floor, but to build in that sustained floor, right? That mercy flush. Geez, a 21.5 KBB, 15 swinging strike, nearly 34.5 chase rate. That's 250 team plate appearances versus righties, and without the power, right? No hard hit, no barrel. That's because of the chasing. For that stretch in the beginning of the year when the Angels had command of the strike zone, when they were pulling the trigger, you were at least getting some results, while subsequently earning walks while also not chasing for those same pitches. I mean, stop wondering why we're so obsessed with discipline, right? It is the tool, like the carrying tool in all of baseball, right? It's the thing that you command because being in the advantageous count opposed to the, I don't even know if disadvantageous is a word, the bad count. Good counts good. Ooga, bad counts bad. But that's really the nut and bolts of it from a team hitting standpoint. And that shit is contagious because believe it or not, it's taught. Right? It's taught and trained. Hitters that don't chase will tell you they've had it fucking ingrained in them. They do nothing but take close pitches. And now we have machines that could paint the zone. Like, again, the analytically driven teams are rising to the top with good reason. That said, Severino's going to be filling the zone. Maybe we get one of those pulled line drives because I still think Soriano at even money against Severino just feels off to me. I'm just forever fading Luis Severino right now, I guess. Angels bullpen has been just an abject disaster. So I'd probably shorten this one to 5 innings and just go about my damn business. You know what I'm saying? I'm curious to see if there's a big tax on it. That I didn't check. And of course the F5 page that I forgot to reload. I'm reloading the 3 load. Reload and 3 load. All right, you bastard. Here we go. If it's anything inside like a minus 120, I gotta think I'm on this. Ooh, I wonder if there's some uncertainty with the pitching. It's not up right now, and I wonder if anyone else sees something similar to that. Odd that there wouldn't be an F5. MGM has Severino and Soriano listed. If I click through to them, no, they have F5 listed. It's minus 125, you bitch. Fucking bitch. I guess I'll take it for the push risk because I really don't want to bet on the Angels bullpen, especially with any kind of juice attached. I'd rather my juice go to the possibility of getting out with my, anus intact in a tie situation than, like, listen, if you're losing after 5, you're losing the game, right? And if you're tied after 5, you're losing the game, but at least you get your money back if you play the F5. So that's always been the kind of, reason for the season when I'm choosing between F5 and full game. All right, to wrap up the least inspiring slate of the year and perhaps our life, it's Zach Spiral Agnos on the bump for the Rockies. They pulled down Sagano. I was a minute behind on that. I had his stuff up. I thought we were going to go after his ass. But he's not. Though I think Agnos has struggled against lefties. Rockies bullpen is no picnic. And whenever you have a Rocky starter that you have to worry about duration, durability, or distance, however you're putting it, you want to go after them. And Agnos, now, he was working out of the bullpen, but if I'm not mistaken, it was all bulk. But I think it was mop-up stuff, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw that somewhere that, like, the majority of his outings were way behind. I don't have access to that. That's even more nuance than I have at my fingertips right now. He did make one start, went 3 1/3. He's gone at least 4 innings two of his last 3, In both of those, he gave up at least 2 runs. And I did get to the split stuff when I saw that we might expect, because I think you're expecting 4 innings from him, right? You're expecting that. He's actually reverse split. I wonder if I got that wrong. I wonder if I left the Sagano stuff up. I might have. It also might not matter. Yeah, I think I had Marte and Carroll on my board. I might have to strike that down for the righties. I'll put a little apology when I update that because I think with such a limited board, I'm going to play a hit run ribby total, and fuck, I hope no one. Well, if you chased Carroll and Marte, you probably could get it anyway. I think that Diamondbacks are going to crush today, and if I'm not mistaken, the Rockies have struggled against lefties, right? Rockies versus lefties has been pretty brutal. So I think as much as I don't like Erod, I'm not trying to bet on the Diamondbacks because, again, he's been asked. That bullpen scares me. I know they produced. And Erod has the most fraudulent 250 ERA that just feels like destined to burn. Just destined to burn. And even if the Diamondbacks win, I think it's an over. I think those are your plays. Team totals for what it's worth. Rockies are 3.5 minus 130. I like that. Diamondbacks are 5.5 plus 110. So you take like heed the book's warning is what I mean to say. Yeah, I like the Rockies to score because I'm not buying the fraudulent fucking Erod stuff like I mentioned, and I'm not really a fan of the bullpen. I didn't think the talent was there to start the season. Again, they've really overproduced, and it could hang on another day. But I think there's a soft underbelly, big fat belly in the fourth, fifth, and like sixth innings of this one. All right, I think that's it. You all right? No. Let's just rip a little quickie. Skyrockets in flight, afternoon delight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the show. We're going to... Oh, damn it. How did I miss that one? Jeff says, insert plain terminology here. Surely you can't be serious. I'm fucking serious. And stop calling me Shirley. Oh, that's in the vein we've been talking about funny movies. That's one of the OGs, right? Like if you were watching the Wedding Crashers in the old school, like if you think that shit is hilarious, you got to go back on the Airplane. I even think the second one is hilarious when they go to the moon, they go ahead to the sun or some shit, whatever. It is really funny. The jive talking stuff, really, really, really funny stuff. Without all the dirty language, love that. Jason says the D-backs team total, man, 5.5 plus money is like a little high. Maybe it's a both team to score. Like maybe you get a little love on it, reduced down. You've been my team total guy anyway. Underwater Trade says love it. Yeah, we love all y'all. All right, let's do a little afternoon parlay. Let's just get the fuck out of here. You know, we all can. Today's one of those days you look at your wifey and you're like, you know what, honey? Let's watch some shitty TV. Oh man, I don't want to fucking derail on fucking Survivor. I don't want to derail. Again, I got fucking idiots that don't know shit about betting. You're a gambling addict if you're betting on reality TV. I don't give a fuck. I bet responsibly. It was to play with my wife to make it fucking fun. We thought markets would be swinging as the show was going on, and it would be fun to trade a fucking dollar here and a dollar there and show how this stuff works. We thought it would be fun to hoot and holler, and obviously the whole thing for Survivor, long story short, it was fucking, not say rigged, it was leaked immediately because on premiere night, one player opened up as a massive fucking favorite and never looked back, and there's supposed to be a live vote. So, like, that was my assumption was, maybe the last three names got leaked. And even if one person should be a runaway favorite, I think that number is fucked. So we bet against that person to just lose, and it was a total kick in the ass. So, anyway. We got my boy Joey Cantillo on the bump for the Guards against the Tigers. That one, too, we called that under yesterday. That was money. That was, like, scoreless into the fucking ninth. I didn't bet that one either. But I think that's where I'm leaning again today. It's not the best place to hit, and the wind is blowing in, and we got two guys we like. My beef is the Mize return, and I'm doing that with the raised voice because I am not sure. And I don't want to look stupid. What's that word? I don't want to look, what's that word? Stupid. Oh, no, he made his last start. I'm sorry. The last one was the first one. And he was really good. Yeah, give me the under. If Mize is sharp, I don't really like the Guards' offense. They've been supremely disappointing. Yes, they've it's funny. This is where disciplinary stuff can be misleading. Like they've hit righties. You have to do air quotes because it's a lot of patience and waiting to take walks and then steal bases. I don't think Mize is going to do that. Cantillo has had his struggles, but the Tigers cannot hit lefties, if I'm not mistaken, right? That was really good for a bit. That's kind of dropped off. They're not hitting for average. They're striking out too much. They put the ball in the air, but if you're putting the ball in the air and not hitting it hard, that's where the low average comes from. Remember, right? Not all batted balls created equal. Some people, like, this is like a filter queen thing. Some people just automatically regress BABIP because they like to say, like, oh, BABIP is something that should be regressed. I'm like, yeah, in theory, if that's right or wrong, it's more right than wrong, but it's also not right. Jason asks, are you adding more hitters to the sheets? You know what, my brother? Hold on one second. No, and I'll tell you why, because we're talking unders anyway. I've been going off, right, so the reason I think that we've been so successful with these is because of that movement I meant initially, moving away from the hitter skill and individual matchup that was defining a total base prop, right, or a home run prop. This guy, player A, going to kick shit out of pitcher B, towards the team context of the scoring. And when I was testing it, using the 4 1/3, like I said, that isn't a definitive thing because that's a luck thing. But using 4 1/3 total runs as the lodestar, looking to combine that with more than 2 1/3 runs on the front end. Now, generally, you won't get that 4 1/3 on the back end without 2 1/3 on the front end, because I don't allow bullpen stats to run that crazy. It can happen in opener situations where we don't have this is like, geez, this is fucking crazy shit right here. You know what I mean? This is teaching, right? Everyone gather around Grandpa Simpson, you know what I mean? Back in my day, they called lemons. Called it freedom cabbage. What if some shit? I'm mixing very dead stories. But anyway. Sorry, so stupid. Those benchmarks were really the thing that, like, I was like, wait, could this be? And what happened when I started getting numbers that I thought were leaning really heavy in our favor? Instead of adjusting the math, I had the confidence and started racking them, and now we're doing really good. So these pairings are awesome, which means on days like today, I'm not going to push because the totals are not there. When we have crazy summer days, that may be not say majority of the ticket, but man, we're doing so well. We have the plus money. You only have to hit a fucking small percentage of them to get paid. Don't be surprised if those are a bigger part of the ticket. So no, I don't think I'm going to really add anything today, though. It's funny. I see the red. The Nats are right on that edge. So like maybe the problem with the Nats was the Nats stalwarts are all lefties and they platoon a lot. So the guys that might ring as the lefty mashers, you got to make sure are not going to get a pinch hit for. That's another one. When I first started doing hitter props, I don't not say KMS, but like I was really fucking beating myself up. You play a guy that would get taken out, and you know that's a major mistake. Looking at you, fucking Kerry Carpenter. So I think we're on the under in this first one. Can we get a 7.5? That would really be ideal. I'd really like a 7.5. Again, especially if you are pairing. I got a U7 minus 101, so you could probably get a fairly priced 7.5. So I'm going to put that down on my sheet. FGU 7.5. I'm also, for what it's worth, I'm the worst daytime bettor in all of humanity. So I just like to parlay during the day, and if I get them right, I fucking get it right. If I get it wrong, I'm just not trying to start the day down multiple units and like really upset, heading into the nighttime stuff. Next up, my boy Braxton Ashcraft on the bump against Dustin May. This one felt like a misprice also. I know May has given us reason to not like totally shit on him, but Ashcraft is significantly better. The Cardinals' offense is okay, but we've also seen them kind of fall to shit also. This one feels like a easy one. For me, I've got Pitt. I know it's not like really reflected so strongly in the model, but sometimes you got to grab the fucking C.O. Jones and go get him. Jeff, great nugget of info on Wash. John, yeah, dude, the platoon stuff really matters. And if you're a betting person that follows all the work, but don't listen to the fantasy pod, I do a super fast. It's paywalled, so it's literally, there's no me bullshitting it. It's literally rip the Band-Aid. I don't want to work on Sunday. I do it the second I get home from mass so I could fucking disconnect and hang out with my family. But I'm in a couple of high stakes fantasy leagues, and that is the determining thing. If you're just searching, and this applies to betting, right? If you're just searching for plate appearances, oh, this guy was really good. He had a good week. Let's add him. Joey Wiemer might get plate appearances, but it's because it was against lefties. So there are a few teams that have really taken on these platoon identities that have really benefited them. But intra game, right in the same game for us, it fucking sucks because the guys don't get all the looks. It's good for team totals, right? Because the scoring is getting there, but it's not good for player stuff. So give me Pitt to win at minus 130. I may even go against my better judgment to bet during the day, right? Right now we're winning, and we're winning with good reason. We're not fucking guessing. So like, but man, I don't want to do like the Mega Whale 2000 nuke unit max, but like fuck. I got Pittsburgh. Like I think Pittsburgh wins again, and that's why I have the model, because the model is just like not saying no, but it's like, dude, breaks. Pumped. Last but not least, right? Mets on the road. Nats came up, so like I got confused. David Peterson is going for the Mets on the road against my boy Kate Cavalli and the Nats. I mean, again, the way the Nats have hit lefties and the way Cavalli has pitched, I don't know how you don't like the Nats here. This is just another one that it feels mispriced to me. The Nats bullpen has been gross, and they're a perfect case in point why all year, we've been on the Nats, but on the Nats F5, particularly in Cavalli starts, and when he's not starting, they're going to give up runs, and you bet either the over or their team total. The Nats are kind of telling us who they are. Now, part of me wonders if I don't have F5 team totals, but I wonder if that's not a bad look, or, again, even a full game, I guess, if it's 3.5, Nats are 3.5 minus 115. And you know what's funny? This lays into that little explanation we were doing the other day about how when you think theoretically about certain bets, they are, in essence, other bets, right? They are the same bets as other bets if you're locked on one. So this is a decent spot for this, where this is the same. We were using it for run lines, but it also works for sides against totals, and this is something I've really struggled with, and I feel like I'm about to do it again, but that's why I want to kind of vocalize it. So... all right, so in a spot like this, Nats versus the Mets, we like the price. Now, this might be an exception where I do want the line, because I think we have the edge both ways. I've oftentimes found myself in these spots where when I say coin flip, I mean the line is more or less a coin flip, relying solely on pitching edge. Right, we have the pitcher. Now, I didn't mean to breeze past that because it sounded like I was saying that with Pittsburgh, but I think Pittsburgh's offense is at least what the Cardinals' offense is. So for the Nats, yeah, I like Cavalli over Peterson in a blanket, but I also think they're going to score. The team total, however, at 3.5, you have to start thinking, I guess this works better for full game. If you think the Nats are going to win, but their team total is only 3.5, and actually this works because they're the same price, more or less, give or take a cent. The team total and that money line. Picking the Nats to win with a 3.5 equivalent hanging out there live is the same as betting the Mets under 3. And that's been a layer of thinking I've been trying to add when I try and parse these. Again, I'm not saying this is the case where I'm going team total, even though it might end up being the right choice, because I think we can get the Peterson and the Nats have hit. We can take advantage of the platoon stuff I was just talking about, and we're going to get those at-bats. And then in the 5th, if the Mets go to the righty, we will double benefit and get the flip side. So like we love those teams for that. But I've been really trying to think about that. And I'd like to see the last piece of the puzzle, which is, of course, the price of that Mets under. And I have a feeling if I started seeing, like if that Mets under, that's an alt total to the under, because the Mets are 3.5. Right? The under is probably a baseline price. Mets are going off under 3.5 plus 110. Under 2.5 has got to be plus 160, no? So not to say these things are mutually exclusive, because there's obviously combinations where multiples can hit, but it is an interesting way of thinking of being more confident in the Nats winning with a low fair price total, knowing that a true result, right? I mean, if you were going to win because you have more confidence in the win than the total, you don't think the Nats are going to get to 4. If you did, you'd be betting that. So when you don't, you should like that under 3. So just a little bit of thinking out loud. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the show. I didn't bore the shit out of you. You know, I can tend to do that sometimes. But these are the days that we get to kind of put in that work. So we're still like 50 minutes early of the hour. Let's get out of here, everybody. Appreciate all, mi gente. This is, well, maybe it's a little madness, but...
This is Sparta!
Damn right, Leonidas. So from one king to another. Appreciate you all. Hit me up with any questions. These are perfect days for it. I'll probably get a little bit of action. And let me take a quick L on the Diamondbacks hitters. I think I had the matchup stuff locked incorrectly. I didn't make that flip. Now, again, Marte is probably good regardless on the switch. And Carroll maybe find also he's a fucking stud. But I am curious to see, because the Agnos righty splits were so bad, it might flip something. It just might add. It just might add somebody. So I appreciate you all for watching the show. Press the like button. It matters more than it should. If you could find it in your heart to subscribe to the paid stuff, it means the world. I put the money right back into the bitch. Again, football and baseball plus modeling and production value. I'm trying to keep it sounding good, looking good, aside from the fucking Faccia Bruta, of course. You Damn Thief says, John, really love the short slates. The context episodes are awesome. Yo, man. Combination platter for you, man. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you all. And my guy, Don Eduardo Salamanca, leading the clubhouse and coolest names. Top notch show. Appreciate you, man. A lot of the people that I don't get to shout out, I do see the responses, and it means the fucking world, because I think what we're doing is working. It's working! I think what we're doing is working. RJL, love the show. Big John, stud. Appreciate you, so let's get the fuck out of here. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the day. When we're done with the book, enjoy the pay. And remember, when you work this freaking hard, man, the winning feels a lot less like luck. Yo, peace out, kids.